We live in a time when our politics often divides us, but respect for our military unites us, country over party. For the first time, a candidate for president threatens to use our proud military to settle political scores. Trump has threatened to put former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, before a military tribunal with penalty of death. This election, stand with our military. Stand with the Constitution. America or Trump.
You might love Kamala Harris and everything she stands for. Or you might only like Kamala Harris and some of what she stands for. Or maybe you're undecided, feel you don't know enough about her. So then, what do you know about her? A lot. You know she doesn't spew hate and anger. You know she doesn't bully, that she doesn't promise to lock up anyone who disagrees with her. She doesn't spread the big lie about our elections. You know she isn't a threat to our freedom, our democracy, and our children's futures. You also know a lot about Donald Trump. You know that everything she wouldn't do, he would, and has.
Donald Trump fights for billionaires and large corporations. I will fight to give money back to working and middle-class Americans.
You know who he is, and you know who she isn't. This November, decide who you are.
The day she came into the world, your heart became hers. You held her close and swore you would protect her from any harm, proclaiming yourself proudly a girl dad. You held her hand when she was learning to walk, and you let that hand go when she started to run. You dried her tears when her knee was skinned, and when her heart was first broken. You cheered her on from the sidelines, celebrating every victory and mourning every loss. You've always been there for your daughter, so won't you be there when she needs you the most? This November, your vote determines her rights over her own body. A Donald Trump win this November means the government's in charge, and you won't be able to protect her anymore. No one can. Lawmakers will decide what health care she can receive, even if her life is on the line, or someone hurts her, violates her body, her life, up for vote. Your little girl. Only one candidate swears to protect her rights as if they were her own. Liz Cheney put it best: we can't be bystanders if we want our kids to grow up in a country that is free. And only one promises, no, swears he will take them away. So what's stopping you? Time to look yourself in the mirror and decide what or who in the world is more important to you than your little girl. It's time to be there for her when she needs you the most. It's time to be a man and vote for a woman.
Wir versprechen Ihnen, dass wir die Kommunisten, Marxisten, Faschisten und die linksradikalen Verbrecher, die wie Ungeziefer in unserem Land leben, ausrotten werden. Aber wir holen sie nicht aus den verseuchten Ländern. Ich weiß nicht, ob man sie Menschen nennen kann. In einigen Fällen sind es meiner Meinung nach keine Menschen, sondern Tiere. Sie vergiften das Blut unseres Landes. Wir werden die größte Abschiebeaktion durchführen. Wenn ich nicht gewählt werde, wird es ein Blutbad geben. Ich bin eure Vergeltung. Ich möchte nur einen Tag lang Diktator sein.
We are Puerto Ricans, and we are Americans. But Donald Trump doesn't see us that way. We remember what he did to us after Hurricane Maria. We were dying by the thousands while he threw paper towels at us like we were a joke. Because he thinks we are garbage.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
We are not your punchline. We know who we are. We are proud Americans, proud Puerto Ricans. And we see who you are. You are racist. You are a liar. You are the one that is garbage, and we know where real garbage belongs. In the trash.
He rambles on and on,
When you have, what you do is you get off a subject to mention another little tidbit.
making stuff up.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
And sometimes making no sense at all.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
He used to be a wrecking ball.
On 4 occasions, I've taken advantage of the laws of this country.
Now he's just a wreck.
I am trying to buy your vote. I'll be honest about that. That's true.
This November, vote for a new generation.
A chance to chart a new way forward.
And the first word she heard was the word
The C word. Every woman has heard it. From the angry ex. From the asshole boss. It's not a joke to us. But it is to Trump and Elon.
The pro-Trump super PAC launched by Elon Musk posted and then deleted.
Kamala Harris is a C word. You heard that right. A big old C word.
They even end it with "see you next Tuesday." Well, for once, they're right.
Donald Trump says he wants to go back to when he was president. How'd that work out? Under Trump, America lost 188,000 manufacturing jobs, the greatest loss in modern history. Was COVID responsible? No, it started before COVID. Trump lost 2.7 million jobs. We gained 16 million since he left office. The stock market has increased 50% since Trump left, hitting record highs. But it's not just about numbers. Trump tore America apart.
I'd like to punch him in the face. Very fine people on both sides.
He degraded women,
That is one dumb woman.
attacked our heroes.
I like people that weren't captured.
Trump was a terrible role model. In front of the Boy Scouts, he bragged about orgies on yachts. The Boy Scouts. Trump elevated people you don't want to know. Weirdos, creeps. Every day, Donald Trump was in our face. Every day had to be about him. And when he lost, he tried to end American democracy. Next time, he'll be worse. He's more angry, older, losing it. Now he's a criminal, desperate to save himself. Enough. It's time to move on. Give somebody else a shot. Optimistic, positive, determined to help bring us together. America or Trump?
Dear daughters, we want so much for you. We want you to grow up proud and strong in an America that believes in you, believes in your worth, believes in your potential to be whomever you want to be. Free of name-calling.
We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president. Kamala. No, it's Kamala.
Free of body shaming.
She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Free of bullying.
That's okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry? Where ambition is applauded, not vilified, because ambition is not a dirty word. Where confidence is celebrated, not torn down. Where there is no height you cannot reach. We want you to be proud to be nasty. Nasty isn't a 4-letter word. It's who you are. Strong, determined, brave. This is the America we want for you. For you, dear daughters.
Quite a few Americans like the idea of a strong man.
I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
They think, why not a dictator who can unite the nation?
I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
But that's not how autocrats work. They don't gather power from unity,
but from division.
Racist comments at a Trump rally
called Puerto Rico the floating island of garbage. It was hateful. It was vile.
They pit us against each other.
Radical left lunatics.
By ginning up fear and hatred.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
And calling some of us the enemy.
We have the enemy from within, and it should be very easily handled by the military.
fear and unease will creep into your life.
Even courageous people silence and restrain themselves when faced with a threat to their family.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
In this way, the dictator takes advantage of our urge to protect and care for the ones we love,
to paralyze us into non-action.
And like a python squeezing its prey, the strong man achieves their hold on power.
And on you.
This is how dictatorship works the world over. This is not the future we want. Don't let it happen here.
Don't let it happen here.
Don't let it happen here.
The fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade, I was so honored to have done it.
Every day in Trump abortion ban states, over 130 women and girls are assaulted, impregnated, denied medical assistance because of him.
I was so honored to have done it.
Choose life? What about hers, or hers, or hers? Tell Trump, hands off our bodies.
In many ways, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
They call us the flyover states. You may not know that much about us, but we are the America politicians show when they describe the heartland of America. Our churches, our farms, our main streets. We feed this nation, serve it in war and peace. We are America. Which is why, in this election, we're at a crossroads, with our conservative traditions at odds with today's Republican Party and their MAGA agenda. They say they want stronger borders, but killed the bipartisan border bill, one that would have closed loopholes dangerous cartels use to infiltrate our country. They call themselves Republicans, but what does that even mean to them? An R next to their name? They want bigger government and bigger taxes, and their tariffs will bankrupt us. Republican used to mean something. This November, vote like a real Republican. Vote against Trump.
It's time to talk about what leadership is and isn't in America. True leadership is about courage, conviction, and strength. But more than anything else, it's about telling the truth. Donald Trump, all he does is lie. Lie about immigrants eating cats and dogs. Lie about sending kids to school one gender and coming home another. Lie about hard-working disaster relief workers. Lie about connection to Project 2025. A leader doesn't sound like this. Kamala Harris has always been for the people, devoting her life to fighting cartels, predators, sex abusers, and violent criminals. She's taken on big banks on behalf of homeowners, lowered health care and insulin costs. Kamala Harris will secure women's rights on day one. She's not wishing she had generals like Hitler did, not threatening to imprison the enemies within or in democracy as we know it. That's why over 100 of Trump's former GOP officials won't support Trump, including his own chief of staff, Secretary of Defense, National Security Advisor, and Joint Chiefs of Staffs, even his own VP. You see, Kamala Harris tells the truth, even when it's the hard thing to do. So that's what real leaders do. They live with courage, with conviction, and with the truth on their side, not just when it's convenient. It's time, fellas. It's time to put an end to the lies and choose a new way forward. It's time to be a man. Vote for a woman.
We've seen it in other countries and knew with pride this could never happen in America. Political opponents executed by firing squad. Not in our America. But now Donald Trump, days before an election, is talking about executing Liz Cheney by firing squad.
Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, when the guns are trained on her face.
This isn't about politics, about Republican or Democrat. It's about who we are. We are all the heirs to the greatest generation, who fought and died to stop the tyrants executing their political opponents. No one is asking us to charge a machine gun or take a beach. They did that for us. All we have to do is vote. Vote against this hateful anti-American who says he wants to be a dictator on day one.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Stand up for freedom. Stand up for the right to disagree. Stand up for America. Because this election is about one thing: America or Trump.
You know, the White House is more than just a building. It's more than 18 acres of land in Washington, D.C.
It's more than columns and corridors, more than history etched into stone.
And the portraits of those who came before.
It's an idea. It's a symbol.
It's a sacred trust. It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
Earning the right to serve here isn't just about politics.
It's about a bond of honor between the American people
and their president. It's a commitment to the Republic and to our sacred Constitution.
It's a promise to temper strength with compassion.
To uphold not only the law, but the ideals that give it life.
It's the understanding that every decision made within these walls
reverberates across the nation, impacting millions of lives.
The right kind of president reminds us that honor and dignity
aren't relics of the past,
but the foundation of our future.
They know that while their time here is fleeting,
their service can build a stronger America for generations to come.
The woman who will soon sit behind this desk will be the first in many ways.
She will lead America
to a new era,
a proud era.
A future where we will build
as one nation.
A time of opportunity and prosperity
for every American,
every family.
Her name is Kamala Harris.
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 And she will be our next president.